Thank you all for being here. I will be speaking, but also the sheriff will be speaking, and we're going to go ahead and start with the sheriff.
On May 22nd, 2024, Nikki Saelee-McCain was reported missing by family members to the Reading Police Department. Initially, that report was made to them, however, was later, 2 days later, transferred to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office due to the last time Nikki McCain was seen was in the Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. Detectives immediately started working on the case to locate Nikki and her Chevy Avalanche, which was also missing. Nikki was last seen at the 1700 block of Olinda Road in Anderson on May 18th, 2024, where she resided with her husband, Tyler McCain. A day after taking the missing persons case, detectives served a search warrant at Nikki and Tyler's residence. Various items of evidentiary value were seized as evidence. However, Nikki was not located. On May 25th, 2024, Nikki's vehicle, that Chevy Avalanche, was located by a citizen off of Highway 36 in an area near Platina, kind of on the border of Shasta and Tehama counties. Detectives and crime scene investigators processed the vehicle and located physical evidence which indicated foul play. The area where Nikki's vehicle was located was searched extensively by Sheriff's Office employees and our search and rescue teams. But again, Nikki was not located. Since the start of this investigation, detectives and law enforcement and allied agencies have worked tirelessly to locate Nikki and to determine the events surrounding her disappearance. Detectives have served search warrants, conducted numerous field searches, multiple interviews of family members, friends, and acquaintances, all to no avail. We still have not located Nikki. Based on the evidence gathered, information learned from interviews, and the fact that no one in Nikki's family has seen or heard from Nikki since her disappearance, the detectives has determined that Nikki is a victim of homicide. Detectives also further concluded that Nikki's husband, Tyler Scott McCain, is responsible for Nikki's death and disappearance. Detectives recently obtained a murder arrest warrant for Tyler McCain, and today at about 10:15 a.m., Tyler McCain was arrested. He was ultimately booked in the Shasta County Jail with no bail for the murder of Nikki. We'd like to take a moment and thank some of the allied agencies and people involved in the investigation. Shasta County District Attorney's Office, the Reading Police Department, Homeland Security, Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Highway Patrol Investigative Services Unit, and the CHP Multidisciplinary Accident Investigation Team, California Department of Justice, and CAL FIRE Law Enforcement, all instrumental and all contributing to today's day and arrest of Tyler McCain. I also want to take a moment to provide some perspective to the complexity of a case like this and the longevity and the intense investigation that goes into arriving at a day like today where we ultimately have an arrest of a murder suspect and a bodiless case, if you will. These cases are layered, meticulous, require months of investigation, hundreds and hundreds of personnel hours, not just from investigators, but from law enforcement boots on the ground, from support services, from forensic evidence, all across the board. It is very labor intensive, and it is crucial that all that evidence is collected, preserved, and processed accordingly to make the case. Despite the scrutiny, criticisms, and the incorrect conclusions that people opine on social media, these detectives and the law enforcement agencies involved continue to work tirelessly on the case. I can tell you that probably every day, with exception of maybe a few, somebody from some agency involved in this investigation was working on the Nikki McCain case. We have worked on this case over her disappearance. We've used search and rescue, we've used volunteers, friends, family, advocates within the community have all contributed and looked in drainage ditches, properties, rural areas, waterways, trying to locate Nikki for the family and trying to give us that next piece in this case. I understand from the outside, for people that are not involved in law enforcement or who are tracking the case, it may seem that sometimes nothing is being done or there's little progress being made. But especially in these public interest cases where emotions run high, people scrutinize and are very quick to judge on what's going on, and they want information, they want us to release details, they want to know what's going on. It's because of the complexity of investigations like this that information and the integrity of the details are not released, because we need to make it to the finish line like we are here today, with an arrest warrant, with a suspect identified, booked into our jail, and we'll continue with a court process, which is crucial that we are able to prove the case and present the evidence and protect that information. There's also, I want to also address the rumors surrounding the Redding Rancheria and the scrutiny that the tribe faced in people saying that there was a cover-up and they were not cooperating with law enforcement, and this was all part of a bigger conspiracy. I can tell you right now, all those rumors also are false. I am actually here to thank the Redding Rancheria too for their participation and cooperation with us in this ongoing investigation. And then finally, while today marks a significant triumph in justice and holding a suspect to answer for the loss of human life, for Nikki's family, it's just partial closure. It's only one step in the process. Nikki is still not home. Nikki is still out there somewhere, and we want her back. And if you're watching and you have information and you know where she is, please come forward. Please bring that information forward now that this case is at the point that it is, and provide some relief for Nikki's family and help end their agonizing pain and search and let them lay her to rest. For the family and loved ones, I want to tell you that we're all here with you. Our hearts go out to you, and I promise you that we will not give up. We are not done looking for Nikki. We are going to work hard to bring Nikki home.
First, I'd like to thank the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Johnson, and all the detectives that were involved in this investigation for their dedication, their hard work, and their truly collaborative effort over the last 15 months to bring this to a point where we have sufficient evidence to charge Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki Saelee-McCain. We decided to do a press conference today to help provide information to the community. I know a lot of people have followed not only her disappearance, but the efforts to locate her, and we have been unable to provide information up until this point. It is my hope that us providing information today will alleviate some of that for the community, but understand that we're only going to release information that is necessary at this point to file a case. We are not going to continue to release information going forward for the same reasons. It's going to be important for us to preserve the integrity of the prosecution, which can take a very long time. These types of cases can take not just months, but years. And that's time that the family will still be working with us and going through this process. And we need to make sure that we preserve the integrity still going forward. We will provide updates after court on what happened in court and future court dates, but we will not be providing additional information about the facts or the investigation outside of what is being provided today. Now, over the course of the last 15 months, numerous agencies, state, federal agencies have put thousands of hours into this investigation. My office as well. We've had 2 prosecutors assigned, multiple investigators, investigative techs, and support staff, and advocates working directly with the family all along the way. And it's important to me to tell you and assure you that we will continue to invest as many resources as we need to in this case to bring justice for Nikki. While, as the sheriff said, her body has not been found, and it is still our hope that she will be located. But under the laws of the state of California, we're not required to have a person's body in order to charge murder. That's what we call a no-body homicide case. That is what we filed. And I'm sure many of you are asking, no, we've never filed that type of case in Shasta County before. But we are going to work very hard on this case. And to me, despite not finding her body, we have been provided with overwhelming evidence to prove that not only is Nikki dead, but that Tyler McCain is responsible for her murder. Now, I hold in my hand here a criminal complaint. This complaint is going to be filed first thing tomorrow morning, charging Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki McCain. Count 1 in this complaint charges murder, but it also has an enhancement that goes with it, that the murder was committed with the intent to prevent testimony. And that's to prevent the testimony of Nikki McCain in the domestic violence case that was pending at the time that she went missing. Count 2 through 5 are domestic violence charges for McCain's assault on Nikki occurring December 2nd of 2023. Those are the domestic violence charges that were pending at the time that she went missing. Those are the same charges that my office dismissed in July of 2024, shortly after she went missing. We are refiling all of those charges. They include corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, assault, and assault with force likely to cause great bodily injury. I know many people were very frustrated when that case was originally dismissed, and it may have appeared that McCain had gotten away with domestic violence charges, and I understand your frustration at that time, especially with our inability to really provide you the why behind that. But as you can see, we filed an enhancement to the murder charge for murder with intent to prevent testimony. The testimony, as I said, refers to the testimony that would have been her testimony in the domestic violence case. It is our belief that Tyler McCain murdered his wife, Nikki McCain, to prevent her from testifying in the domestic violence case. This enhancement elevates the murder charge from a sentence of 25 to life without the possibility of parole. Had we gone forward with the domestic violence case in 2024, we would not have been able to prove that case without her testimony, without also having to prove that McCain caused her disappearance. Proving that McCain caused Nikki's disappearance back in July of 2024 would have compromised the homicide investigation and our ultimate ability to file the charge of murder and the enhancement of committing that murder with intent to prevent her testimony. We have also filed additional charges. Counts 6 through 8 arise out of a search warrant that was served on Tyler McCain's home shortly after Nikki went missing. And as a result of that search, he is facing illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition after a criminal protective order had been issued protecting Nikki McCain prior to her going missing. Count 9 charges forgery occurring May 29th, again after Nikki went missing around May 18th. Shortly after Nikki was reported missing, this forgery charge results out of a forged signature on a joint tax return check that we believe that Tyler McCain forged her signature to cash that check. Counts 10 through 12 are for various violations occurring on April 1st of this year, after Nikki had been reported missing for almost an entire year. McCain was observed throwing items out of his vehicle, and when he was pulled over, on his possession was a burnt California driver's license for Nikki McCain. McCain's arraignment will be set for this coming Friday at 1:30. He's currently being held in the Shasta County Jail without bail, meaning he will not be released. The enhancement that we charge to the murder charge does come with it no bail, meaning no amount of money could be posted to allow him to be released. As I said at the beginning, this is very limited information that we're providing today. We will have some documents to provide you afterwards that contain information that will go over to the court tomorrow so that you have that information. But after that, it's just going to be procedural updates on what happens in court, as it's very important to protect the integrity of this prosecution going forward and the continued investigation while we continue to look for Nikki. We hope that filing these charges brings some measure of closure, not only to Nikki's family, but to the community. While many of you may want to call or text the family during this time to offer your support, please know that that can be very overwhelming, and the family has asked that you refrain from contacting them and respect their privacy at this time, unless, of course, they reach out to you. We aren't going to be taking questions, but the family members would like to make a statement, and at that point we will be concluding the press conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. On the behalf of our family, we want to express our deepest gratitudes to the Shasta County Sheriff's Department, all law enforcement, investigators, and the District Attorney's Office for their tireless work in bringing justice for my sister. Your dedication and persistence have given us a measure of peace that we've been longing for. To the community, thank you for standing by us. Your prayers, support, and strength have reminded us that we are not alone in our journey.
While this arrest is an important step, our fight is not over. We are still fighting for justice to be fully served, for my sister's memory to be honored, and for the healing of our family and community. Nothing can erase the pain of losing her, but knowing that the person responsible is being held accountable allows us to move forward with hope. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you.